Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Yex and I'm back with another Rome 2 replay cast, and today I have a very special battle for you guys because I have a tournament matchup in the Mercenaries tournament organized by AIMA clan between my clanmate here, PC J Law, playing as Tylis, and Granitor from the ZEVA clan, and he's brought the Lusitani, and of course, he's my special guest today. Say hello, Grani.
G'day, how's everyone going today?
So yeah, we just agreed beforehand that because obviously he controlled Lusitani and he has this really interesting build here that he would explain it to us first, and I'll explain the Tylis build, and then we'll go ahead and click play. So do you want to go ahead, Grani?
No worries, I'll go over my build. On my left flank, I have glitched in the steep noble lancers. So I've got 4 of them, two on the right, 2 on the left. So that's my thinking of bringing them was to try and just, hurt the Oathsworn and the Tribal Warriors with some good charges there. And also to protect my slingers, which I've gone heavy on. So I've got the 5 Iberian slingers. And the reason I brought so many is so I can rip apart the Oathsworn a fair bit, because I knew I'd be outclassed with the Oathsworn. And also, being Lusitani, they're a bit weak on the armour. So I thought I'd, bring an extra skirm, so I can definitely have the skirmish advantage there. And also on my left flank, I have the Scutari Spearmen, because you can only bring the certain amount of melee troops there, max 6, so got to bring them. Veteran Shield Warriors I've got on the left flank with me Scutari Spearmen, and then in the middle I've got the Veteran Shield Warrior, Lusitani Noble General, and the Veteran Shield Warrior. And for my gen skill, I have the Razor Banner and Rally. Then on my right flank, I have the Lusitani Nobles, some Veteran Shield Warriors, Scutari Spearmen, so 2 of them there. And then, so that's my build.
Okay, do you want to click play and then I'll explain J-Law's build, because this is quite a long battle actually, so we might as well.
Yeah, it is quite a long battle, so we better get it going,
Yeah.
No worries, man, so I'll click play now.
Okay, I'm at 29, 14, 13, 12, 11. That should be about fine. Okay, so to look at my clanmate's build over here, he has a very terrifying build that I definitely wouldn't want to face myself. So he has the front line of the 4 Levy Freeman, which is a classic meat shield unit, which is very, very useful with the jabs and the really nice bonus versus large. You have 3 Celtic Slingers, so a pretty weak skirmishing component, but it's always wise to bring a few Slingers, I find, with Barbarian factions, because you never know how useful they'll be in the late game, so that's a good idea there. He has the 4 Step Armored Lancers, which I actually think is a very, very brilliant decision, which I'll explain a little bit later. Then he has 4 Oathsworn here, which is absolutely terrifying. He has 2 Spear Warriors with Cavalry Counter-Tactics, which would be nice against the Step Noble Lancers brought by Granitor. And yeah, he has the Oathsworn General, and he has 2 Tribal Warriors as well, I believe. So, to explain a little bit why I think that the Step Armored Lancers are such a brilliant decision, it's because the Step Armored Lancers are honestly one of the probably the best kept secrets of Rome 2 in terms of cost-effective cavalry, because they are a heavy shot cavalry unit, just like your Thessalians, and they have some incredible stats. You only pay 550, and as a result of this, PC J Law was able to bring a relatively large army and 4 Oathsworn. So he has his 4 powerful cavalry, he has his 4 Oathsworn, he has 2 tribals, he has a decent skirmish component, and he has a front line of Levy Freeman. So he's very strong in all aspects, and I feel that by bringing these 4 really cost-effective cavalry, he's really playing to the strengths of this tournament, which is to bring the units like that to optimize your build. So yeah, do you want to explain some of the logic behind your build, perhaps, with Grani?
Yeah, well, I'm taking the flanks heavy and trying to really get my skirmish advantage going. And deliberately on my left flank, I'm trying to get these 2 Iberian slingers to hit that Oathsworn that's on his on his right flank, and also the steep armored lancers when I can. I'm getting the shots there. So all I'm doing is concentrating my left flank, and my right flank's just there for a distraction. So, and same with my middle. So I'm not really going to concentrate on firing anything on my right flank, but you can see it's heavier in the skirmish contingent. So he'd be thinking that I'm concentrating over there, firing on his Oathsworn and Tribal Warriors and whatnot. So I'm trying not to let too many shots go on my right flank, but really trying to get my left flank shooting heavy on the Oathsworn. As you can see now, it's starting to open up straight onto the Oathsworn now, and because he's moving the Oathsworn, it's getting some really good shots into it.
Yeah, and he's actually moving them quite slowly here, and he's going to expose the backs right now to that slinger fire, and that's going to do a lot of HP damage.
Yep, that's right.
A lot of damage here, so that's a really good move from Granitor. What I do find interesting, though, is the way that you've positioned your soldiers here. So you seem to do this a lot with your battles. You really like to deploy in these really, really wide lines that you don't see from many competitive players. You want to explain the kind of logic behind that?
Well, I'm more of a flank player. If you understand me battles, I like to get the flank. I'm usually a lot more aggressive, and it comes from my aggressive style where I used to get the flanks and then close in real quick to try and catch my opponents off guard. But I haven't been playing Rome too much, so I've gone for the more kind of been a bit standoffish, if you know what I mean, from a usual tactic of just rushing in and going in balls and all kind of thing, you know what I mean? So so I'm just taking my time in this battle because I know PC J Law's a good player, so I am taking my time. Usually I'd just go in when I do have the flank advantage and concentrate on my flanks more than my middle. So yeah, that's the logic behind it. It just comes from being aggressive, and yeah, but I still use it even if I'm passive because I can get these flanks to press in on the side, as you can see, the left flank. Now I can start trying to press that in a bit and box him in and force him to go across a bit. So yeah, that's where it stems from, bro.
I mean, me and Legion were doing a little bit of a co-commentary. Obviously, we weren't recording it, but we were watching the battle together, and we were in a separate room from J Law and Granitor on Discord. And there were several points in this early skirmishing phase of the battle, I'll call it, where you didn't have any Step Noble Lancer support in your middle over here, so technically J Law had the opportunity to do some really dangerous YOLO charging on your general on those veteran shields in the center. And it would have been quite dangerous. Is that like something that you had considered? Well, I see you're moving your Step Noble Lancers here to the center to kind of protect them, it seems.
Yeah, I did notice that. That's why I put that Step Noble Lancer there.
Yeah, because they are a
but also if you did come in, if you hit one of my troops, the other two would get the javelins off because I'd do the attack order straight away too. So that would sacrifice one of his cav. So yeah, it's kind of a bit of a bait as well. So also don't mind that if they're going to charge one troop and I've got three there, they're just setting themselves up for, to cop a lot of jabs, and that cav you might as well say is obsolete after that. Even if it does do a good charge and say 30 troops of me Lusitani Naval go down, that cav's going to be off the field, which gives me the advantage. So yeah, it's a bit of a bait tactic. But yeah, then I thought about it, and the battle's dragging out longer, so I thought I'd better protect them with the Steep Noble in the middle.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good adjustment there. So you have the one cavalry on each flank to protect them, and then you have the two cavalry there in the center to make sure your gen doesn't get charged. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on the amount of javelins that are in Rome 2? Do you think that it's okay in terms of balance, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's viable on the veteran shield warriors, the medium swords and the heavy swords. Yeah, fair enough, have some javs, but the lighter spears, nah, not at all.
Yeah.
And my biggest gripe with this game is they went right off the basis of what Shogun 2 used to do, and that's if you touch a spear with cav, you die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where it made it more tactical, because if you stuffed up with your cav and you hit a spear, you would die and you'd lose that cav. So it made you a lot more wary of what you were going to do if you cav, you know what I mean? So you had to use more sparingly. In this game, you can hit, even the light spear should really kill a cav, because the in ancient times, they used the cav and they come in, they would not go near spears, even if they wanted to. The horses will not charge a solid body of spears. They're not a stupid animal, that way, you know what I mean? So yeah, they would not charge a solid body of spears. So yeah, that's where they kind of steered away from the historical kind of values of the game. So yeah, in my eyes, that's just my gripe. I'm an old Shogun 2 player, so I really got used to the spears being actually useful. In this game, they're not much use. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You can charge a spear and you can pull out of there and you minimal damage to a cav, you know what I mean? Even if cavalry counter tactics is hit. So it's a bit funny like that, but yeah, that's my little spiel over.
Yeah, no, actually, I did play a little bit of Shogun 2, but I'm quite new to the Total War community in that Rome 2 is the first game that I played, and I only started like a year and a half ago or something. And I played Shogun 2 after playing Rome 2, and I think that the way that they handled spears was fantastic. That's one thing that I definitely really agree with in that game, mechanics-wise. I think that spears should be dangerous to cavalry. And that should be their role, whereas in this game, like, you're terrified to engage cavalry with your spears, essentially, because of... unless if they don't have javelins, your spears are basically useless, and... Yeah, I didn't.
Exactly right.
They don't kill infantry. They don't kill cavalry. So what's the point? And then you have these really cheap spears of javelins that just absolutely murder cavalry. So it just doesn't quite work in my mind. I'm going to make a small interjection here and point out that Granitor has definitely gotten the better of the skirmish engagement here. He's killed 20 of these Oathsworn and done a lot of HP damage to it, and that's
right.
a very valuable unit. And the other thing I want to point out is that earlier in the game, I don't know if the audience noticed, but J Law switched out for some reason. I could be wrong, but I think J Law switched out these tribal warriors here for the Oathsworn on the flanks. I'm not sure exactly why he did that, but I would have put the tribal warriors on the flank here because they have more armor, first of all, and they're not as high a priority unit. So I think that was definitely a mistake from J Law.
That's right, and also you can see now the it's taken its toll. All them slinger shots. Now the HP damage is coming into effect, and now every single slinger shot that's coming in is actually taking a man down. So now's where all that patience of sitting back and shooting for a while is taking effect, and the Oathsworn are really ticking down quite quick now. So they're down to 88 already.
Yeah, they did massive damage, and you've also damaged some of these step armored lancers a bit, done some HP damage. They don't have that much armor. That's one of the risks of these.
They're my second priority, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. They're slightly less than the Step Noble Lancers, but do you see why I love this unit so much? Because if you look at the stats, you have 35 armor on them, and then if you look at the Nobles, they have 40.
That's right.
I mean, really, the big advantage of the Nobles, which is what makes them so useful, is the fact that you're paying 750 and getting very heavy shock cavalry, which makes them an extremely cost-effective unit as well. But similarly, for the same reason, the Step Armored Lancers, it's such a bargain. For 550, you get this heavy shock cavalry unit that's really versatile.
Oh, they're great cav, yeah. That's right, they are good cav. But I agree with the decision of bringing them in, so yeah, that's a very good decision here. But the battle's just about to start ticking now, and this is where I come in with my Step Noble Lancers, and this is where I made a huge error.
Oh, no.
I went to charge the Oathsworn and get rid of them Oathsworn, and I accidentally dismounted my Step Noble Lancers, so that's not good at all.
Me and Legion are having a bit of a laugh at your expense. I'm sorry to say.
It's ridiculous. Like that was a bad mistake, you know, a bad mistake. It's 7 in the morning. I just made a mistake like that. It's not good. My micro is not great at 7 in the morning anyway, but doing that to myself was really setting up for disastrous.
Yeah, and there was a really
I need
critical
every bit of that
cavalry,
cav.
Yeah.
Oh, it was, because if that Step Noble Lancer hit that Oathsworn, it would have just wrecked that Oathsworn with, you know, like you can see it's still ticking down, like it's still doing some damage. Like the Step Noble Lancers are still killing the Oathsworn quite quickly. But I would have loved to hit that and then come back out and then come in with my infantry. So, but yeah, I had to bring another cav over now to protect my slingers, as you can see there on the left flank. And it's all a piecemeal engagement at the moment. But the Oathsworn has gone. It's got 34 men left, but my cav's gone, so that's not good for me there at all.
Ooh, we're going to see a really nice charge coming in here from J Law with his Step Armored Lancer. He's going to absolutely flatten this unit veteran shield. They don't get a javelin off, unfortunately. Yep. Neither does your general. That's really going to hurt these low armor units, and these tribal warriors are going to do so well in this engagement. And then J Law is going to plow straight through and get your Iberian slingers.
Not all the Lusitani nobles were knocked down. That's one thing, you know, like they got a bit of a weird charge, but they did go through and get my skirmish. But I'm pointing all my skirmish onto that cav now, so it's getting quite wrecked. So it's good move by him, but I did plan for that, and I've got my 3 slingers you can see there.
Yeah, focusing on the cav.
On the steep armored lancers, so that's going to go down. So my nobles did get the counter charge back onto the tribal warriors in that circumstance there as well.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad, and I got my Step Noble Lancers on the left flank actually caught up a bit too, but I have one with my veteran shield warriors, so I can go through and help my cav out with the steep armored lancers on the left flank there.
Nice rear charge coming in here on your right flank, on his left, onto the Levy Freeman. Although they didn't really hit the Oathsworns, that's a little bit of a concern there. Oh, and the jab volley is coming in. Oh, that's quite painful. The Step Noble Lancers.
And he does a good job of getting his cav through the middle there, if you've seen that. But I pull my cav back out on the left flank to stop that cav from doing any more damage to my skirmish.
I think he's going to intelligently pull them away from your cavalry now. So yeah,
he does. He sees what I'm doing there.
Yeah, that's good play from both of you. The slingers are still alive here, so pretty good preservation here. Well, some of them are, 2 of them.
Some of them are, yeah. Well, I'd rather that take out my shitty slingers and go for rear charges on vital units that are locked up. My general just bit the dust then, so I'm a bit worried at this stage. He's gone, so that's goodbye to my general. So I decided to give him one back and chuck my cav through the middle.
Yeah, I think...
See there? Take out his skirmish. They cop a lot on the way in. They cop a lot of javelins off the Oathsworn, and then he's coming in with the steep armored lancers to counteract that. Yeah,
and I think... I mean, with regards to your general, I remember also, we were saying this of Legion during the battle itself. One of the disadvantages of the really long line strategy is that it's very difficult to have meat shields to protect and to block the charges on all of your line. So what happened there?
I'm not a real big meat shielder. If you notice me tactic, I'm not a real big meat shielder. I try and preserve every bit of infantry I've got because I am more infantry based in my tactic. I can't use cav as well as most people, nor me skirmish. I can't use my skirmish as well as most people, but my infantry, I seem to do a good job with my infantry. So I play to my strengths, and that is my infantry. So I try and preserve them a bit more. Even meat shield, and I just try and avoid it for my kind of strategy. But yeah, as you can see on the left flank, but I've got my steep noble lancers there. They've killed most of the Oathsworn. Skitarii spearmen taking them off, and then I'm going through for his Celtic slingers. I'm going to bait this steep armored lancer to come in. I'll take that rear charge because I'm going to use my Skitarii spearmen to come through, and then pull back through my Skitarii spearmen with my steep noble lancers and pull his armored lancers into the spears with the cavalry counter tactics on. So that's going to preserve that cav of mine and get rid of his there. And then I can use that spearman to chase off the rest of his skirmish while I come in for a rear charge on his Oathsworn general.
Nice move, and I like the use of Skitarii. 161 kills, almost 2 chevrons. Very nice there.
Yeah, they're doing their job.
Although he does have his general left, and he does seem to be
that's right.
surviving quite diligently here, despite being attacked in the rear. And he also has another Oathsworn here, which is must have been quite terrifying during the battle, having to deal with 2 Oathsworn in the late game.
I'm in a good position with my slingers now to get rear shots on them, so I'm using that to my advantage as well when they're coming after my cav and my Skitarii spearmen. I am getting the rear shots off, so that's going to do some good damage there. I was hoping to get my shield screen going well, but it kind of derped out a bit. And
shield screen is a nightmare.
It's terrible.
Just don't bother. It's too risky. In my experience,
that's right.
Only brace for cavalry with shield screen. Other than that, don't bother.
That's right, yeah. I was just trying to get them so they had their backs turned a little bit longer for my slingers to get some good shots off, but they're doing a good job now, my slingers. And then I'm using the cav to chase off the rest of his skirmish, but keeping the pressure on with my Skitarii spearmen so they haven't got time to shoot my cav because I know I haven't got much cav left there. So at this moment, I think PC is hoping I've got no ammo. Probably because he knows, as you can see where he's heading now, straight into the trees. He knows he has to get some cover because their Oathsworn have taken a lot of HP damage. They're going to be very vulnerable to slinger fire. So you can see his slingers running off. I'm just desperately trying to get this Noble Lancer into the action and get rid of them Celtic slingers altogether. Now that Noble Lancer has got 225 kills, so it's done its job properly. Skitarii spearmen on the flank have cleaned up quite well for 170 kills, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, and you are intelligently pushing his slingers away so that to give your Step Noble Lancers time to reach them. Because while
That's right.
you probably
Yep.
can't catch them with your Lusitari, you just have to keep them from firing at your noble lancers.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a good idea.
Desperately. Yeah, and it's actually worked out perfect because as I'm coming in for the charge, my spearmen are all there in front of them. So then come in for a nice charge there, which absolutely devastates the slingers off the charge. Going to try and preserve my cav as much as I can too. So I'm not just relying on my cav to kill them. I'm bringing in the spearmen to try and kill them and don't even want to lose one noble lancer, you might as well say, in that engagement.
Yeah,
So them
that's
slingers
nice
gone now.
use. Yeah, that's nice combo over there. So we have, I
Mm.
mean, we guessed that you still had ammo because of the power bar. Otherwise, you would definitely not have
Well, if you
such an
zoom in
advantage
now,
there.
on both my slingers, you'll see one hasn't got its daggers out.
Yeah.
And I realised he's going to be looking for that too. So if you keep on that one that hasn't got its daggers out, just keep close up on that. You'll see in a minute, bang, the daggers come out. In about 10 more seconds, I realised I should bloody pull the daggers out. So I hit the melee attack order. So we can't tell which one's got the ammo. I haven't done it yet. My brain's still ticking. But yeah, so one's got the daggers out. You can definitely tell it's got no ammo left. And the right one, I don't know exactly when I do it. I should have done it a little bit earlier. But my old brain does tick in a minute. And go, hang on, I want him really not to know which one's got the ammo. So still hasn't ticked in the old brain. Trying to get him fresh as well with my cav, trying to get him fresh. Skitari and Noble Lancers over there.
Am I the only one
When do I
that's
put
got this guy that's stuck in midair of his cavalry unit right next to your slingers there?
Where?
Do you see that?
No, I don't see him. Yeah.
You'll see in my version of the video, but
Yeah.
there's just some guy
Still in midair.
stuck in
Right.
midair.
So now I've put the daggers out on the skirmish now. So I've got daggers out in both. So he thinks both are out of ammo, but I'm pretty sure he knew one had ammo by this time. But yeah, I was a little bit late in doing that. But see, what I like to do if I'm waiting for something to come back and get fresh again, I like to push them forward a bit, then hit halt. And for some reason, it makes them go fresher again. Could be just my own mind, but
Really?
I think
Halt?
if you do a little movement order, then press the halt button, which is down the bottom, in the unit card there.
Absolutely.
And that kind of makes them go fresher a little bit quicker. If you can see me, I push it forward there, the Skitari Spearman. Then I press halt. And you'll see it kind of gets it fresher a little bit quicker. It could be just my own mind, but I found, I just like to do that.
I'm definitely going to be testing
if he wants
that.
to give it a go, yeah, just test it out because I've had them Skitari Spearmen sitting there for a while and they're still red in their refresh, but now I've hit the halt. They're going down to winded quite quick. And same with the Steep Noble Lancers, and they're active now already. Now the guessing game continues for him to see which one has got the ammo. Well, he was saying to me after the battle that he didn't know which one had the ammo left, or whether both of them had ammo. So he didn't quite catch on which one had its daggers out. So I might have done that, made him attack order soon enough. I'm not sure. So, but yeah, now I'm fresh with my spearmen. My Noble Lancers, I'm going to try and bring them into play.
They can actually do a lot of damage, even those 9 Lancers. If you get them in the right situation, they get a nice rear charge when he's a bit bunched up.
Mm-hmm.
They will kill a lot of Oathsworn.
That's right.
Although at this point, you might want to be careful because if they get countercharged, they probably have low HP, so they're actually probably going to take a lot of damage from a countercharge, even if they knock down the Oathsworn.
Mm. Same goes to the Oathsworn, but I'd say there's some good HP damage done to them. So
absolutely,
it's and they've got no javelins, so that's another thing. No javelins, so I can count on the cav coming in with no javs hitting them. Now I'm trying to get this this right skirmish. I'm trying to get it into a spot now where it looks like that's the one with the ammo, and this one on the left is the one with the ammo. So I'm trying to keep it in a spot where it doesn't look so threatening, and then gradually bring it round to a better spot.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was quite baffled at how much the power bar is in your favor when you have
Because
ammo
I've still
on
got
only
ammo.
yeah, but it's on only one of your slingers, isn't it?
It just it does that. Like if you've got any kind of ammo left, it's going to say you got the balance there. But yeah, realistically, I've only got I think I estimated about 3 shots, so that's realistically all I had.
Pretty crazy. I mean, if theoretically, if you killed enough Oathsworn, you kept that ammo, maybe maybe you would get the mass route going. I mean, tough. They have a lot of base morale, but who knows?
That's right. Yeah, I was trying to get. So the one in front of his general is the one with the ammo. So I'm trying to get it behind the normal Oathsworn. So my theory was I was going to lay 1 shot on the normal Oathsworn, come in with my Steep Noble Lancers while I'm shooting, and try and rout it, and then keep the other 2 shots for the general. But yeah, it's easier said than done. That's the problem.
Like most things in this game. So it's the one. It's the one that's. It's the one
closest to his general. Yeah.
Oh, the one's close to his general. Okay, fair enough.
With the spearman.
Yeah.
That's the one with the ammo.
Cheeky, because me and Legion saw the daggers out. And we're like, oh, he can't have ammo. He can't have ammo. And you really fooled all of us, I think.
Yeah, I was hoping to, but I didn't know whether he'd seen it soon enough, like whether he'd seen it before that it had the no daggers out. So, but I'm counting on he didn't see it. So that's yeah, we'll see how it works out. But it looks like he's really looking at that slinger butt, so and positioning himself. But then I see the Oathsworn now if it's back to it, just the normal one. Then he pulls it back and puts the front to it. So I'm thinking, no, did he actually see it or did he not? Yeah, bit of a strange game I'm playing here.
Great cat and mouse game. I do love this.
He's doing a good job of keeping them bunched together and
yeah.
But now he's got his back to me.
Uh-oh.
With the Oathsworn, the normal one, and that's when I hit the attack order. But then they do this stupid little shuffle, which kind of shits me because I wanted to shoot quite quick. Now I get 1 shot, and now it starts pouring in, and then he turns around. So I actually stopped the shooting. So
it's a lot of damage.
Now he knows which one's got the ammo. So, but he doesn't know if the other one's got ammo. So yeah, I wish the other one had ammo. If it did, I'd be shooting his general right now and coming in with the spearman. But yeah. So now I decided to lay a couple more shots onto the just the normal Oathsworn, not his general. And then this is my plan all along, was coming in with the Steep Noble Lancers as well as shooting. So he has to turn towards one. Unfortunately for me, he turns towards the slingers, so I get a good hit in there. Lose 2 Steep Noble Lancers myself, but still get out of there reasonably unscathed.
He's going to get countercharged though on the slingers. Yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
And I think this is something I told him after the battle. I think it was a mistake that he braced with his Oathsworn like that, because he actually maximizes the amount of HP damage when he braces like that, because each Lancer will hit more units. And the other thing is that the Oathsworn have such an first of all, they're very heavy, and they also have that amazing charge bonus. So even on the charge, they will take down so many of these Steep Noble Lancers. So
that's right, yep.
I think he should have just charged you.
So I'm just going to get rid of them other Oathsworn and hope to God that this charge here does it for me. I lose a lot of cav on the charge. There's 3 cav.
It's that charge bonus. The charge. It's horrifying from the Oathsworn.
And then goes my Steep Noble Lancers. So, and I bring my slingers in now. Hopefully they can rout it. But yeah, my slingers, they're not going to do too much damage there.
Yeah.
I have no ammo left now. My slingers, so it's time to bite the bullet.
Still though, the power bar is with you. Interestingly,
yeah, for some strange reason, yeah. I think they think the Skitarii Spearmen are better than what they are. So
yeah, seriously underestimating Oathsworn, that's for sure.
They are definitely, and he's still got his general, so that's another thing that's come into the factor here as well.
That's a huge factor, yeah.
So I'm going to sacrifice these Iberian slingers, trying to get rid of that Oathsworn. It's just 16 men. It's still going to rip me slingers apart. the Skitari Spearmen come in.
Yeah, they're going to get destroyed.
Destroyed, yeah. I'm just lying down and taking the beating now and realise the game is over. So I've hit the shield screen just for something to do. It doesn't do much. These slingers are actually going to prevail against the 6 Oathsworn.
Now that surprises me.
Yeah, they got out of there. Red morale, and they're out of there. So
then you're having a little bit of laugh, just running away with your slingers.
Bit of laugh, yeah. I actually typed in message one slinger and a dream. So it's not going to do much now, the old slinger. So I'm just trying to G him up a bit here, and
he's just going to push him up the hills and get a downhill charge here in his Oathsworn.
Downhill charge. It's going to be nice. So this is where the slingers make their final stand. No, still going to stir him up. Going to make him work for the victory. I don't know how they're not routing. Actually, they're in orange morale. They're quite happy. So that's interesting there. But now I just commit to it and take my fate. The slingers come in.
Oof, that's a brutal charge.
Laugh if they won that. They didn't even kill one Oathsworn. Nice. I actually killed one just then.
Really? So, oh my god.
Yeah.
Must be the HP damage.
So yeah, that was one of the most fun games I've ever played in Rome 2. I'd have to say. I have to chalk that one down.
That was
a fun game. It's always fun against PC. He's a good player and I've got a lot of respect for him. So yeah, that's good. We enjoyed it. I'll go over the kills for my build. In general, got 54 rather disappointing kills there. I'm not happy with that. Yeah, should have went a lot better. Considering I had an infantry, the veteran shield warriors come in before him. He was like second into the battle there behind them, so I thought he might last a bit longer. We've got the Steep Noble Lancers. All in all, doing an all right job. That one that I dismounted got 21 kills, so don't worry about him. But the rest of them done well. 266 for one of them. I'm quite happy with that. Paid for himself. And Miss Skirmish, all done a great job. One there got caught by the Cav, got 8 kills, so yeah, not too good. Skitari Spearmen, 216 kills, 13.
That's excellent.
216 is a good job for them. So, and my infantry all done all right, except that one getting 5 kills. I'm disappointed in that. And the other Skitari Spearmen, 181, good there, and
pretty
40,
impressive.
Not too bad. Lusitani Noble, 136 kills, not bad at all. So quite happy for my kills. I actually killed more in the bar there. I've got deployed 1,890, so I deployed less men. 1,518 losses and 1,627 kills compared to his 1,950 deployed and lost 1,652. So there was a couple of kills there. Yeah, so that's interesting. Must have been
I think it's
because friendly fire there.
I think it's also because sometimes when you route a unit with a lot of men left, they'll just disappear off the battlefield and they won't count as kills. So
that's exactly right too. Yep.
So
yeah, it's not bad. So go over his kills there for us.
So yeah, his general doing fucking brilliant. 3 chevrons, 243 kills, and not even pretty much half strength, which is pretty impressive. Although a lot of those were slingers, so we do have to accept that.
That's right.
We have 105 kills, 113, which is for a 550 talent unit. They did the HP damage, they interrupted charges, they did their job this battle, they killed some skirmish. So pretty nice use of that unit there. They did get a little bit lucky when your step lancers dismounted, because otherwise they would have taken a pretty punishing charge there.
Exactly.
And then the slingers did okay. He didn't manage to preserve them until late game, but it's pretty tough to do that, honestly, with Celtic slingers. And you have these Levy Freeman just interrupting charges, 28 kills, not bad. And one Oathsworn getting 303 kills, which is pretty nice. The other 2 doing pretty poorly here, probably interrupted charges, maybe some rear charges that we missed. Tribal Warriors not getting many kills either, for some reason.
No.
I wasn't actually watching them during the battle. I'm not sure what happened to them.
Same.
And then we have the 2 Spear Warriors doing a pretty decent job for their price, honestly. Pretty nice unit. Cavalry counter tactics. So that was actually a really good battle, and me and Legion really enjoyed the skirmish phase in the very beginning, when you're both trying to jockey for position to get the optimal engagement.
That's right. Well, I don't usually play that way, so I'm just verifying my tactics a little bit sometimes, but yeah, I'm still getting the hang of kind of skirmish phase. In most of my battles, there isn't even a skirmish phase. Put it that way, you know what I mean. So I like to just get straight in there and get the flanks and get straight in there. So, but changing my style around a bit, and can teach an old dog new tricks. So see how we go. So I'm 40 years old, and I've been playing, like a lot of Total War. I used to play my Shogun pretty aggressively, not much skirmish and not much cav. But these days, just changing up a bit.
Is that
changing as good as a holiday?
how would you rate Shogun 2 versus Rome 2 then?
Yeah, it's always been my favourite for the clan kind of part of the game. The aspect of that, it was great. It was designed for clans. You know what I mean? There was a clan battle map. There was everything to do with that, and also the avatar system was brilliant. It was a breakthrough in my eyes. The breakthrough in the Total War series was doing that avatar, and I was looking forward to the avatar being in Rome 2 when they didn't have it. It lost a few points for me this game, not having the avatar system. So you can build troops to your own specifications, the way you like to play. I like to play aggressive. So in Shogun 2, my troops had a lot of morale and a lot of attack. So you know what I mean? In this game, I had to pick troops that do that for me. So it's a bit disappointing. But hopefully the next game has the avatar system back. But I very much doubt it.
That was definitely a disappointment, the fact that the avatar system didn't come through. Although, again, I played Shogun 2 so late that I probably wouldn't... I didn't really experience the avatar system, but it did seem pretty cool. One thing I will say,
you could sit there.
Is...
you could probably... Sorry, man. You could probably sit there for hours and just build an army, which I used to do. You know what I mean? Just building armies. So
just specializing.
It wasn't just playing the game. Just specializing it and just trying different things out. You know what I mean? So you'd sit there for like an hour or so and build an army and change all their stats, and then go into battle and try that. If it didn't work, you'd go back out and you'd know exactly what to change again. It's just interesting that way. So yeah.
Sorry, man. I guess I mean, I really did think that was quite clever the way they did that. Although at the same time, I think for the competitive community, the fact that there are so many factions with different flavors, even if some factions are kind of copy-pasty in Rome 2, the fact that you do have this sort of distinct flavor of a lot of the factions makes it quite replayable in my view, and it means that you have a lot of players in the community that just have a mastery of one or two factions that really it's all inspiring to kind of like like there's some people that have an incredible command of Swaby, for example. You just watching it's like it's artful the way they play.
Well, my best one would be Barbarians and Lusitani. That's what I specialise in. So, but these days my Lusitani builds have been my favourite to play with, because you have to be so careful with them, and they do have a powerful charge, but then you have to bring the skirmish advantage because they're so weak in armour. So yeah.
Although if you don't get your charge interrupted, those veteran shields, they'll almost always be cost effective. Though they have such a brilliant charge and so much melee defense, they will really do a number on even really powerful mid-tier swords. They'll do a good job.
Exactly. Yeah. When you face no swarm with Lusitani, it's always an uphill battle, so you do need to take advantage of the skirmish phase. Sometimes I like to have my guerrilla warriors on the flanks too, and when I've locked up, get some good rear shots in. So that usually works well too. But in this battle, I knew I had to take the Skitaris Spearman for the spear warriors that he was going to bring. So, but yep, all in all, a good battle. I think what lost me the battle was the dismounted steep noble lancers. I think if they done a little bit more killing there, I would have had a few more of them at the end of the battle too, I think. So, but who knows how it would have played out? But in my mind, that's would have been quite handy towards the end.
Absolutely, yeah. That was a big loss in terms of the funds and your resources. Essentially, I mean, one step noble lancer is enough to route 2 Oathsworns, as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly right. Well, that charge was good timed as well, so that was going to hit that Oathsworn that I'd done the damage on with the slingers and then pull back out. You know what I mean? And that charge there would have taken apart at least 30 Oathsworn, I think, if not more. You know what I mean? Because they were damaged from the slinger fire. So that was the plan. But all in all, the plans kind of went to effect with the skirmish phase of it. But yeah, the plan after that kind of come apart. But good game to PC J Law. Always a pleasure playing him, and hopefully he wins the tournament. Good luck to him. I'll be cheering for him in the tournament.
You're not going to be cheering for me then, Grani.
Are you still in, are you? I haven't even looked at the bloody list, so I'll be cheering for all you, brother. Don't worry about that.
I'm just kidding, mate.
No, I'll be cheering for you, mate. Always like you're clean, you know. So, and cheering for my boys, of course, in the ZEVA clan. Shout out to
Absolutely.
ZEVA. Yeah,
Yeah, there's
and
a bunch
hopefully
of them
yeah,
in
there
the
is.
tournament.
There's a lot of them there. So hopefully we have the AIMA and ZEVA grand final.
Oh,
That'd be
that'd
good.
be awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No worries.
shall we leave
Excellent.
it there
Thank you
then?
very much for having me, mate. Always a pleasure.
It was great to have you on, Grani. Thanks so much. And
We'll definitely be doing more co-coms, mate, in the future.
absolutely,
Sounds good to
it
me.
was a lot of fun. Okay,
Cool.
so thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Talk to you soon.